Amelia, a young black caregiver, forms a special bond with Lily, an abandoned elderly resident in Evergreen Haven. Discover how these two strangers change the way we think about connection and family, and what secrets are hidden beneath the surface of their unlikely friendship. If you're joining us for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey. Amelia Thomas walked through the bustling halls of Evergreen Haven, her footsteps echoing off the polished floors. The nursing home buzzed with activity, nurses checking vitals, residents chatting in the common areas, and the faint sound of a television from somewhere down the hall. As she made her rounds, Amelia's warm smile and gentle touch seemed to brighten the day of everyone she encountered. She took extra time with Mr. Johnson, patiently helping him with his breakfast, and shared a laugh with Mrs. Rodriguez over a silly joke. It was clear that Amelia's care went beyond just doing her job. While heading to her next patient, Amelia noticed a new face. In the corner of the day room sat an elderly woman, her eyes distant and her posture slumped. This was Lily Hall, and something about her lonely figure tugged at Amelia's heart. Little did she know, this chance encounter would change both their lives forever. Lily Hall's slumped figure spoke volumes about her life at Evergreen Haven, but as Amelia was about to discover, appearances can be deceiving. What hidden truths would emerge as these two women from different worlds began to form an unexpected connection? Amelia approached Lily's room, her heart heavy with concern. She'd noticed the elderly woman's isolation during her rounds, and something about Lily's situation struck a chord deep within her. As she entered, Amelia took in the stark surroundings. The room was tidy but impersonal, lacking the warmth of family photos or cherished mementos. "Good morning, Ms. Hall," Amelia said softly, her voice warm and inviting. "I'm Amelia. I thought you might like some company today." Lily looked up, her eyes clouded with a mixture of surprise and wariness. "Oh, hello," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Amelia pulled up a chair, settling in beside Lily's bed. She noticed the untouched breakfast tray on the side table. "Would you like some help with your breakfast, Ms. Hall?" she asked gently. Lily shook her head, a flicker of sadness crossing her face. "I'm not very hungry," she murmured. As the days passed, Amelia made a point of spending extra time with Lily. She'd sit and chat, sometimes reading aloud from magazines or helping Lily with small tasks. Slowly, the older woman began to open up, sharing snippets of her life before Evergreen Haven. One afternoon, as Amelia was tidying Lily's room, she noticed a framed photo tucked away in a drawer. It showed a younger Lily surrounded by smiling children. "Are these your kids, Ms. Hall?" Amelia asked, holding up the picture. Lily's expression darkened. "Yes," she said, her voice tinged with bitterness. "But they might as well be strangers now." Amelia's concern grew as she learned more about Lily's family situation. Her children rarely visited, and when they did, their interactions were strained and brief. One day, Amelia overheard a heated conversation between Lily and her son, Robert. "Mom, we need to talk about selling the house," Robert said, his tone impatient. "It's just sitting there, and we could use the money to cover your care here." Lily's voice was firm despite its weakness. "That house is all I have left, Robert. I'm not selling it." As Robert stormed out, he brushed past Amelia, giving her a dismissive look. "You people should mind your own business," he muttered under his breath. The encounter left Amelia shaken, but it also strengthened her resolve to be there for Lily. She saw how Lily's spirits would plummet after these visits, and she was determined to counteract that negativity with kindness and genuine care. "Ms. Hall," Amelia said one evening as she helped Lily prepare for bed, "I want you to know that you're not alone here. I may not be family, but I care about you. and I'm here if you ever need to talk." Lily's eyes welled up with tears. "Thank you, Amelia," she whispered, squeezing the younger woman's hand. "You remind me of what family should be." As the weeks went by, Amelia's concern for Lily's emotional well-being grew. She noticed how the elderly woman would withdraw into herself, especially after her children's infrequent and tense visits. Amelia made it her mission to bring a spark of joy back into Lily's life, even if it was just through small gestures, a favorite snack, a new book, or simply sitting together in comfortable silence. What Amelia didn't realize was that her acts of kindness were having a profound effect on Lily. The elderly woman, who had grown cynical about human nature due to her children's behavior, was slowly rediscovering faith in people through Amelia's unwavering compassion. Amelia's vow to support Lily awakened a familiar warmth within her. But why did this elderly stranger feel so much like home? The answer lay buried in Amelia's own history, waiting to be unearthed. As Amelia spent more time with Lily, memories of her late grandmother began to surface. The way Lily's eyes crinkled when she smiled, her gentle touch, even the faint scent of lavender that seemed to linger in her room, all of it reminded Amelia of the woman who had shaped her childhood. Amelia's grandmother had been her rock, a constant source of love and wisdom in a sometimes chaotic world. She remembered lazy Sunday afternoons spent on the porch, listening to stories of her grandmother's youth. The way her hands, wrinkled but strong, would smooth Amelia's hair as she spoke. Those moments had been a balm for Amelia's soul, a refuge from the pressures of growing up. Now, as she sat beside Lily's bed, Amelia felt that same sense of peace wash over her. She found herself sharing stories about her grandmother, surprised at how easily the words flowed. "You know, Ms. Hall, you remind me so much of my grandmother," Amelia said softly one afternoon. "She had this way of making everyone feel special, like they were the most important person in the world." Lily's eyes, which had been distant and unfocused, seemed to sharpen at Amelia's words. "Tell me about her," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Amelia smiled, settling more comfortably in her chair. "Well, she was the best cook in our neighborhood. Every Sunday she'd make this incredible peach cobbler. The smell would fill the whole house, and neighbors would just happen to drop by right as it was coming out of the oven." A ghost of a smile played on Lily's lips. "Sounds like she was quite the lady." "She was," Amelia agreed, her voice warm with affection. But it wasn't just her cooking. She had this way of listening, really listening, that made you feel heard and understood. No matter what problem I brought to her, she always knew just what to say. As Amelia spoke, she noticed a change in Lily. The older woman's posture straightened slightly, her eyes growing brighter with each word. It was as if Amelia's memories were breathing life back into Lily, rekindling a spark that had long been dormant. "I remember one time," Amelia continued, encouraged by Lily's interest. "I was about 12, and I'd gotten into a fight with my best friend. I was so upset, convinced our friendship was over. My grandmother sat me down, made me a cup of hot cocoa, and told me about a fight she'd had with her own best friend when she was young." Lily leaned forward slightly, her attention fully captured. "What happened?" "They didn't speak for weeks," Amelia said. "But then my grandmother's friend got sick, really sick, and suddenly, all the anger and hurt just melted away. My grandmother said that's when she learned that true friendship is stronger than any argument." As Amelia finished her story, she noticed tears glistening in Lily's eyes. For a moment, she worried she'd upset the older woman. But then Lily reached out, her hand trembling slightly, and grasped Amelia's. "Thank you," Lily whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "It's been so long since anyone shared stories like that with me." Your grandmother sounds like she was a wonderful woman." In that moment, something shifted between them. The walls Lily had built around herself began to crumble, brick by brick. Amelia felt a connection forming, a bridge spanning the generations that separated them. As the days passed, Amelia found herself sharing more stories about her grandmother. Each tale seemed to breathe more life into Lily, coaxing her out of her shell. And with each story, Amelia felt the ache of her grandmother's loss ease just a little. But it wasn't just Amelia's stories that were changing things. Lily, too, began to open up. She shared snippets of her own life, her childhood in a small town, her dreams of becoming a teacher, the joy of raising her own children. With each shared memory, the bond between them grew stronger. The growing bond between Amelia and Lily blossomed like a rare flower in the sterile environment of Evergreen Haven. As their shared stories planted seeds of friendship, something unexpected was about to bloom. How far would Amelia go to brighten Lily's days? And what unforeseen consequences awaited her acts of kindness? Amelia's care for Lily took on a different quality than her interactions with other residents. She found herself lingering in Lily's room long after her duties were completed, drawn by the older woman's quiet strength and hidden depths. One afternoon, Amelia arrived with a surprise tucked under her arm. "Ms. Hall, I brought something special today," Amelia said, her eyes twinkling with excitement. She revealed a weathered photo album, its edges frayed with time and love. "I found this at home. It's full of pictures from when I was growing up with my grandmother." Lily's face lit up, her hands reaching out eagerly. As they pored over the photographs together, Amelia shared stories of her childhood adventures, her grandmother's wisdom, and the traditions that had shaped her life. Lily listened intently, occasionally chuckling at Amelia's animated retellings. "You know," Lily said softly, her fingers tracing the outline of a faded image, "this reminds me of my own family album. I wonder where it ended up after I came here." Amelia noticed the fleeting sadness in Lily's eyes and made a mental note. The next day, she arrived at work early, determined to track down Lily's lost treasure. After some careful questioning and a bit of detective work, she discovered the album tucked away in a storage closet, forgotten among other personal effects. When Amelia presented the album to Lily, the older woman's eyes filled with tears of joy. "Oh, my dear," she whispered, clutching the book to her chest. "How can I ever thank you?" As they explored Lily's memories together, Amelia learned about the vibrant life Lily had led. She had been a teacher, just as she dreamed, inspiring generations of students. Lily spoke of her late husband with a tenderness that made Amelia's heart ache and shared funny anecdotes about raising her children. "They were such handfuls sometimes," Lily chuckled, her eyes distant with memory. "But we had so much love in our home." Amelia couldn't help but wonder about the stark contrast between the warm family in the photos and the cold, distant children she had glimpsed during their brief visit. She kept her thoughts to herself, not wanting to dampen Lily's newfound enthusiasm. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Amelia began bringing small gifts to brighten Lily's room. A potted lavender plant that filled the air with soothing fragrance, a soft shawl in Lily's favorite shade of blue, a collection of classic novels they could read aloud together. One evening, as Amelia was preparing to leave for the day, Lily caught her hand. "You know, dear," she said, her voice thick with emotion, "you remind me so much of my younger self. Your kindness, your spirit. It's like looking in a mirror across time." Amelia felt a lump form in her throat. "Ms. Hall, please," Lily interrupted gently. "Call me Lily. I think we're beyond formalities now, don't you?" Amelia nodded, blinking back tears of her own. "Lily," she said, testing the name on her tongue, "I want you to know how much our friendship means to me. You've become like family." Lily's smile was radiant. "And you to me, my dear, more than you know." As their relationship deepened, Amelia found herself going to greater lengths to bring joy into Lily's life. She organized a small garden party in the nursing home's courtyard, complete with tea and scones, inviting some of the other residents Lily had befriended. Seeing Lily laugh and chat with her peers, her face animated and full of life, filled Amelia with a sense of purpose. But it wasn't just grand gestures that defined their bond. It was the quiet moments, brushing Lily's hair while they discussed their favorite books, or simply sitting in comfortable silence as they watched the sunset from Lily's window. In these moments, the lines between caregiver and patient, young and old, began to blur. Other staff members noticed the change in Lily. She was more engaged, more vibrant. Some praised Amelia for her dedication, while others watched with a mix of curiosity and concern. Was Amelia becoming too attached? Was she crossing professional boundaries? Amelia paid little attention to the whispers. She knew in her heart that what she and Lily shared was special, a connection that transcended the usual constraints of their roles. Yet, as their bond grew stronger, so did the questions surrounding their unusual relationship. What was it about this particular patient that stirred such devotion in the young nurse? Just as Lily found comfort in Amelia's care, shadows from her past resurfaced. The peaceful sanctuary they had built together was about to be shattered by an unexpected storm. As Amelia approached Lily's room one afternoon, she heard raised voices coming from inside. "Mom, we've been through this before," a man's voice said, frustration evident in his tone. "The house needs to be sold. It's the only way to cover your care here." Amelia hesitated outside the door, her hand frozen on the handle. She recognized the voice as Robert's, Lily's son. The conversation inside continued, growing more heated with each passing moment. "I've told you, Robert, that house is all I have left," Lily responded, her voice trembling but firm. "I'm not selling it, and that's final." "Don't be so stubborn," a woman's voice chimed in. "We're only trying to help you." Amelia's protective instincts kicked in. She knew Lily didn't want to sell her home, and she couldn't stand by while Lily was pressured. Taking a deep breath, she knocked on the door and entered the room. The atmosphere inside was tense. Robert and a woman Amelia assumed was Lily's daughter stood on one side of the bed, their faces flushed with anger. Lily sat propped up against her pillows, looking small and vulnerable. "Is everything all right?" Amelia asked, her voice calm but firm. Robert turned to her, his eyes narrowing. "This is a family matter," he said dismissively. "We don't need you here." Amelia felt a flicker of anger at his tone but kept her composure. "Ms. Hall is my patient, and it's my job to ensure her well-being," she replied evenly. The woman who introduced herself as Karen gave Amelia a condescending look. "We appreciate your sitsitsa. Sisananantrosimuani says sanakra. Is a here burkyan sovoininikan sanois." Voice dripping with false sweetness. "But we're discussing important financial matters. It's not really your place." Amelia felt the sting of their prejudice, but she stood her ground. She looked at Lily, who met her gaze with a mixture of gratitude and resignation. "I understand this is a sensitive topic," Amelia said, addressing Lily directly. "Would you like me to stay, or would you prefer some privacy with your family?" Before Lily could answer, Robert cut in. "We've already told you this doesn't concern you. Why don't you go change some bedpans or whatever it is you do around here?" The blatant disrespect in his words hung in the air. Amelia felt her cheeks burn, but she refused to be intimidated. She looked to Lily, waiting for her response. Lily's voice was quiet but clear. "Amelia, please stay. I'd like you here." Robert and Karen exchanged exasperated glances, but they couldn't argue with their mother's request. For the next half hour, Amelia stood by Lily's side as her children continued to pressure her about selling the house. She didn't intervene, but her presence seemed to give Lily strength. Finally, frustrated by their lack of progress, Robert and Karen left, promising to return soon to sort things out. As the door closed behind them, Lily seemed to deflate. Tears welled up in her eyes, and Amelia quickly moved to comfort her. "I'm so sorry you had to see that," Lily whispered, her voice breaking. "They used to be such loving children. Now all they care about is my money." Amelia sat on the edge of the bed, taking Lily's hand in hers. "You don't have to apologize," she said softly. "I'm here for you, no matter what." Lily squeezed Amelia's hand, her eyes filled with a mixture of sadness and gratitude. "They look at you and see someone beneath them," she said, shaking her head. "But I see someone with more compassion and integrity than they've shown in years." As Lily confided in her about the pain of feeling used by her own family, Amelia listened with a heavy heart. She couldn't understand how Robert and Karen could treat their mother with such callousness, especially when she was in a vulnerable state. "I just don't know what to do anymore," Lily admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "They won't stop until they get what they want, but I can't bear the thought of losing my home. It's where I raised them, where I spent my life with my husband. How can they not understand that?" Amelia felt a surge of protectiveness. She knew she couldn't solve Lily's family problems, but she was determined to be a source of support and comfort. "You're not alone in this, Lily," Amelia assured her. "We'll figure something out together. For now, try to rest. I'll be here if you need anything." As Lily drifted off to sleep, exhausted from the emotional confrontation, Amelia sat by her side, lost in thought. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to this situation than met the eye. What were Lily's children really after? And how could she protect Lily from their relentless pressure? As Amelia comforted Lily, neither woman noticed the well-dressed man approaching Lily's room. His briefcase held secrets that could upend everything. What hidden truth was about to come to light? The man knocked softly on the door frame, his presence startling both Amelia and Lily. He was tall and distinguished, with silver hair and kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. "Ms. Hall?" he inquired politely. "I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm Thomas Blackwood, your attorney. May I come in?" Lily straightened in her bed, her demeanor changing subtly. "Of course, Thomas. Please come in." She turned to Amelia with a gentle smile. "Would you mind giving us a moment, dear? This is a private matter." Amelia nodded, her curiosity piqued, but her professionalism intact. "Of course, Lily. I'll be just outside if you need anything." She stepped out, closing the door behind her. Inside the room, Thomas took a seat next to Lily's bed, opening his briefcase. "I've brought the documents you requested, Ms. Hall. Are you sure you want to proceed with this?" Lily's voice was firm. "Yes, Thomas. It's time. Have there been any issues with the transfers?" Thomas shook his head. "None at all. Your assets have been successfully moved to the offshore accounts we discussed. Your children have no way of accessing them without your explicit permission." A weight seemed to lift from Lily's shoulders. "Good. They've become so focused on my money, they've forgotten what truly matters. I never wanted to raise them to be this way." Thomas nodded sympathetically. "I understand. Your total assets now stand at just over $12 million, all safely tucked away. What do you plan to do with it?" Lily's eyes drifted to the door, where she knew Amelia waited. "I'm not sure yet, but I know I want it to make a difference, to do some good in the world, not just line the pockets of those who've forgotten the value of love and compassion." Outside, Amelia busied herself with her duties, unaware of the conversation taking place behind closed doors. She checked on other residents, administered medications, and chatted with her colleagues. But her thoughts kept drifting back to Lily, wondering about the mysterious lawyer and his visit. When Thomas emerged from Lily's room an hour later, he nodded politely to Amelia before making his way out of the nursing home. Amelia returned to Lily's side, finding the older woman lost in thought. "Is everything okay, Lily?" Amelia asked, concern evident in her voice. Lily smiled, reaching out to pat Amelia's hand. "Everything's fine, dear. Just some legal matters to attend to. Nothing for you to worry about." Amelia nodded, accepting Lily's words at face value. She had no reason to suspect that behind Lily's calm exterior lay a secret that could change both their lives. Instead, she focused on what she knew best, providing care and companionship to the woman who had come to mean so much to her. As the days passed, Lily seemed more at peace. Despite the recent confrontation with her children, she engaged more with other residents, shared more stories with Amelia, and even started joining in some of the nursing home's activities. Amelia was delighted by this change, attributing it to their growing friendship and the support she provided. Little did Amelia know that Lily's newfound serenity came from a place of financial security and a sense of control over her own destiny. The wealth that Lily had carefully hidden away remained a secret, known only to her and her trusted lawyer. To Amelia, Lily was simply the kind, wise woman who had become like family to her. One afternoon, as they sat together in the nursing home's garden, Lily turned to Amelia with a thoughtful expression. "Amelia, dear, what would you do if you had the power to make a real difference in the world?" Amelia considered the question carefully. "I suppose I'd try to help people who need it most. Maybe set up programs for underprivileged kids, or support caregivers who look after the elderly. Why do you ask?" Lily smiled mysteriously. "Just curious. It's important to think about these things, don't you think? To consider how we might use our resources, whatever they may be, to leave the world a little better than we found it." Amelia nodded, unaware of the wheels turning in Lily's mind. As they continued their conversation, the sun warming their faces and a gentle breeze rustling the leaves around them, neither woman could have predicted the surprising turn their lives were about to take. The gentle breeze carried more than just fallen leaves that day. It brought with it a moment of clarity for Lily, one that would force her to confront the very nature of her legacy. As she sat beside Amelia in the nursing home garden, Lily's mind wandered to the wealth hidden away, known only to her and her lawyer. "Amelia, dear," Lily began, her voice soft but steady, "what do you think truly matters in life?" Amelia looked up from the book she'd been reading aloud, her brow furrowing slightly at the unexpected question. "Well, I suppose it's different for everyone, but for me, it's about the connections we make, the love we share, and the difference we can make in others' lives." Lily nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "You're wise beyond your years, my dear. I've been thinking a lot lately about what I want my legacy to be." As Lily spoke, Amelia noticed a hint of something in her eyes. Uncertainty, perhaps, or a touch of sadness. She reached out and gently squeezed Lily's hand, offering silent support. "You know, I've lived a long life," Lily continued. "I've seen fortunes made and lost, relationships bloom and wither. And I've come to realize that the things we often chase, money, status, power, they're not what truly matter in the end." Amelia listened intently, unaware of the internal struggle Lily was facing. The older woman's words struck a chord, reminding her of the lessons her grandmother had taught her. "But it's not always easy to know what to do with the resources we have," Lily mused, her gaze distant. "How do we use what we've been given to make a real difference?" Amelia, still oblivious to Lily's hidden wealth, saw only a woman grappling with life's big questions. She leaned in, her voice warm and encouraging. "I think the fact that you're asking these questions shows you're on the right track, Lily. It's not about having all the answers, but about trying to do good with what we have." Lily's eyes refocused on Amelia, a mix of emotions playing across her face. "You're right, of course. But sometimes the weight of decision can be overwhelming." As the days passed, Amelia noticed subtle changes in Lily. There were moments when she seemed lost in thought, her brow furrowed in concentration. Other times, she'd ask probing questions about Amelia's dreams and aspirations, listening with an intensity that went beyond mere curiosity. Through it all, Amelia remained a constant presence, her care and support unwavering. She organized small outings to the nursing home's garden, read Lily's favorite books aloud, and simply sat with her in comfortable silence when words weren't needed. One afternoon, as they shared a pot of tea, Lily turned to Amelia with a determined look in her eyes. "You know, my dear, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately. About life. About what truly matters." Amelia nodded encouragingly, sensing that Lily was building up to something important. "I've realized that the greatest wealth isn't measured in dollars and cents," Lily continued, her voice growing stronger. "It's measured in the lives we touch, the love we share, and the legacy we leave behind." As Lily spoke, Amelia felt a swell of emotion. She'd grown to care deeply for this woman who reminded her so much of her own grandmother, and seeing her find renewed purpose was deeply moving. "You've shown me what true kindness and compassion look like, Amelia," Lily said, reaching out to clasp the younger woman's hand. "You've given me something my own children couldn't, genuine care and friendship, with no strings attached." Amelia blinked back tears, touched by Lily's words. "Lily, But Lily wasn't finished. Her eyes shone with a newfound clarity and purpose. "I've made a decision, Amelia. A decision about how I want to use the resources I have to make a difference in this world." Amelia listened, unaware of the full weight of Lily's words or the secret that lay behind them. She saw only a woman she'd grown to love like family, finding renewed purpose and joy in life. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow through the windows of Evergreen Haven, Lily and Amelia found themselves alone in the quiet of Lily's room. The bustling sounds of the nursing home had faded, replaced by a comfortable silence that spoke volumes about their growing bond. Lily's eyes sparkled with newfound purpose as she leaned in closer to Amelia. What life-altering decision was about to unfold between these two women from different generations? Lily took a deep breath, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. "Amelia, my dear," she began, her voice soft but steady, "I want you to know how much your friendship has meant to me these past few months." Amelia smiled warmly, reaching out to cover Lily's hands with her own. "It's been my pleasure, Lily. You've become like family to me." Lily's eyes welled up with tears at Amelia's words. "That's just it, dear. You've shown me more genuine care and compassion than I've experienced in years, even from my own children." Amelia listened intently, sensing that Lily was building up to something important. The older woman's gaze was focused, her posture straighter than usual. "I've been doing a lot of thinking lately," Lily continued, her voice gaining strength, "about what truly matters in life, about the legacy I want to leave behind. And I've realized that the greatest wealth isn't measured in dollars and cents. It's measured in the lives we touch, the love we share." Amelia nodded, feeling a swell of emotion at Lily's words. She'd grown to care deeply for this woman who reminded her so much of her own grandmother. Lily took another deep breath, as if steeling herself for what came next. "Amelia, I have a proposition for you. One that might seem unusual, but I hope you'll consider it." Amelia's heart quickened, curiosity and a hint of nervousness mingling in her chest. "What is it, Lily?" "I'd like you to come live with me," Lily said, her eyes searching Amelia's face for a reaction. "Not as my caregiver, but as family. The daughter I wish I'd had." Amelia's jaw dropped, her mind struggling to process Lily's words. "Live with you. But I don't understand. What about your children?" Lily's expression hardened slightly. "My biological children have made their priorities clear. They're more interested in what they can get from me than in spending time with me. But you, Amelia, you've shown me what true family means." Amelia's mind raced, trying to make sense of this unexpected offer. "Lily, I'm honored, truly. But are you sure? This is such a big decision." Lily nodded, a serene smile spreading across her face. "I've never been more certain of anything in my life. You've brought light back into my world, Amelia. I want to offer you a home, a place where you can pursue your dreams without worrying about making ends meet." As the reality of Lily's offer sank in, Amelia felt a whirlwind of emotions. Gratitude, excitement, and a touch of apprehension swirled within her. I don't know what to say, Lily. This is so unexpected." Lily squeezed Amelia's hand gently. "You don't have to decide right now, dear. Take some time to think about it, but know that this offer comes from a place of love and appreciation for who you are, not what you can do for me." Amelia nodded, blinking back tears. "Thank you, Lily. Just thank you." As they sat together in the quiet room, the weight of Lily's offer hung between them. Amelia's mind raced with possibilities, questions, and a growing sense of warmth. She thought about her tiny apartment, her struggles to make ends meet, and the loneliness she often felt outside of work. Then she looked at Lily, this woman who had become so dear to her, offering her not just a home, but a family. Amelia's decision to move in with Lily sent shockwaves through Evergreen Haven. But as cardboard boxes replaced care plans, a more profound transformation was taking place. What happens when an act of kindness evolves into something far more powerful than anyone could have imagined? The day of the move arrived, filled with a mix of excitement and nervousness. Amelia arrived at Lily's modest home, her arms full of boxes containing her life's possessions. Lily stood in the doorway, her face beaming with joy. "Welcome home, dear," Lily said, her voice warm and inviting. As Amelia crossed the threshold, she felt a sense of belonging wash over her. The house was cozy and filled with memories, much like her grandmother's had been. Lily had prepared a room for her, complete with fresh linens and a vase of wild flowers on the dresser. Over the next few weeks, they fell into a comfortable routine. Mornings were spent sharing breakfast and reading the newspaper together. Afternoons often found them in the garden, Amelia helping Lily tend to her beloved roses. In the evenings, they'd curl up in the living room, sharing stories and laughter. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Amelia found herself opening up about her dreams and fears in a way she never had before. Lily listened with the patience and wisdom of someone who had lived a full life, offering gentle guidance and unwavering support. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Lily turned to Amelia with a mischievous glint in her eye. "You know, dear, I've always wanted to learn how to use one of those computer things. Do you think you could teach an old dog new tricks?" Amelia laughed, delighted by Lily's curiosity. "Of course, we'll start with the basics tomorrow." The contrast between their genuine relationship and the superficial interest of Lily's biological children became increasingly apparent. Robert and Karen's visits were infrequent and tense. their eyes darting around the house as if cataloging potential inheritance. During one such visit, Robert's voice carried through the house, sharp with frustration. "Mom, I don't understand why you've let this stranger move in with you. What about us? We're your family." Lily's response was calm but firm. "Amelia has shown me more love and care in the past few months than you have in years, Robert. She is family now, just as much as you are." The door slammed as Robert and Karen left, their disappointment palpable. Amelia found Lily in the kitchen, her hands shaking slightly as she put on the kettle. "Are you okay?" Amelia asked softly, placing a comforting hand on Lily's shoulder. Lily nodded, a sad smile on her face. "I'm fine, dear. It's just hard to see what they've become. But having you here, it reminds me of what family should be." As the weeks turned into months, Amelia and Lily's support for each other grew stronger. When Amelia decided to pursue her dream of becoming a nurse practitioner, Lily was her biggest cheerleader. She helped Amelia study for entrance exams, quizzing her late into the night and celebrating every small victory. In turn, Amelia was there for Lily during her physical therapy sessions, encouraging her as she worked to regain strength after a minor fall. They faced each challenge together, their bond growing stronger with every obstacle overcome. One lazy Sunday afternoon, as they sat in the garden surrounded by the vibrant colors of autumn, Lily reached out and took Amelia's hand. "You know, my dear, I never thought I'd find family again at my age. But you've shown me that love doesn't always come from where we expect it." Amelia squeezed Lily's hand, her heart full. "You've given me a home, Lily. Not just a place to live, but somewhere I truly belong." Amelia and Lily's journey together has been a testament to the power of genuine connection. Their bond, forged through compassion and mutual respect, challenges society's narrow definitions of family and wealth. In a world often fixated on material success, their story reminds us that true richness lies in the relationships we nurture. As Lily opened her heart and home to Amelia, she found a daughter in spirit, if not in blood. And Amelia, in caring for Lily, discovered the warmth of unconditional love she'd been missing since her grandmother's passing. Their unlikely friendship blossomed into a family bond that defied expectations and transcended generations. Their story invites us to reconsider how we measure success in our own lives. Perhaps the greatest wealth isn't found in bank accounts or possessions, but in the depth of our connections and the lives we touch along the way.